First, let's discuss zoning. The first zoning ordinance was adopted in New York City in 1916. Zoning regulates land uses and densities. Zoning is adopted and enforced by local governments. It determines what can be built where, how big the building can be built, and where on the parcel the building can be built. As more and more cities adopted zoning, a significant amount of land in a city has been zoned for the purpose of only one use, a single-family home. In fact, in nearly every major U.S. city, 70% of the land area zoned for residential use bans apartments. Because so much land in the United States has been zoned primarily for single-family use on minimum lot sizes ranging from 5,000 square feet and in some communities as large as 2 or 3 acres, housing in the U.S. has been built further and further from access to food, places of employment, and access to commerce. Housing has also been built further and further away from municipal services. Here is how a typical suburb was developed in the United States post-World War II. The owner of a large area of land would subdivide the land into individual parcels. The developer would then sell each of those parcels to an individual family. The developer created each of these parcels at a size consistent with the municipality's regulations. The developer built out the street, the sidewalk, and even the water and sewer systems that accompanied this subdivision. The city now receives new property tax from the new lots and new infrastructure such as roads and sidewalks. So what's the problem? The city accepts this new infrastructure, but it also then obtains the lifelong maintenance liability of the new infrastructure. The new road will likely need to be repaved in 10 years. The water lines will need to be continuously cleaned, and the sewer lines will need to be replaced after their first life cycle. The major issue with urban sprawl is that these subdivisions occur further and further away from municipal services and add more and more infrastructure that the city needs to maintain. It becomes extremely inefficient for local governments to service these new subdivisions by new pavement, concrete sidewalks, water and sewer lines at such low densities. The city also needs to provide services such as education, police, and fire. Unfortunately, a new street containing solely single-family homes won't even cover the cost to repave that road within the next 10 years, never mind providing police, fire, and water services. This is why you see many roads in your community that haven't been repaved in 20 years, or sidewalks that have disintegrated into the ground that haven't been redone since the 1940s Workers' Progress Administration. Municipalities don't collect enough in their property taxes to maintain even the most basic infrastructure throughout an entire city, so it has to pick and choose which projects to fund. New housing isn't the target here. It's the development pattern of mandating low densities, sprawling further and further outward, that leaves cities unable to maintain its infrastructure and go broke in trying to do so.